told y'all it has to be me. I don't watch the game, they win. Then I watch the game, they get blown out. As you see, we got a whole host of people here. So, Ace, drop the beat so we can get to it. Welcome to Forever I Love Atlanta Sports, and this is Kings Run where we talking Hawks post game. We here with Tyrone, Larry, and GSHM on Rat. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
So we'll start with you, Rat. How'd you feel after this game, brother?
I felt like our star players should have played, or not really stars, but the guys, JC, Cam, Herder, and Gallo, should have played a lot better. I think they shot combined like 10 for 47 tonight. And that was the difference in the game. Their second unit, and Tristan Thompson, Jaylen Brown, Kemba, Tatum, they showed up to play and ours didn't.
Yeah. What about you, Tyrone? How did you feel about the game?
We didn't show up at all. As a team, I mean, Trey and Capella, of course, they're showing up. We shot 42% from the field as a team. That's all I have to say. We shot 42% from the field as a team.
Larry?
It was ugly.
Yeah.
It was despicable. I just want to point out that everybody was looking forward to Nate McMillan coaching instead of Lloyd Pierce, and it looks exactly the same.
It looks exactly the same. I would have to agree with you there. Like I said, I didn't watch the game on Wednesday, but everybody was saying, "Oh, Nate McMillan is a better coach," and then you get a game like this where it seems like everything looked exactly like the Hawks with Lloyd Pierce. So when you looking just like the team, is it the team, or what do y'all think it is? Why is this team so bad?
There's no ball movement. If you notice, the big difference between the wins and the losses is ball movement. And then when the biggest problem I have with the offense is whoever doesn't have the ball is not moving. Unless there's a screen being set, there's no movement on offense.
I would agree with you there. Shout out to Leafy Sneevy. If I agree, fire Travis Stinks. But if you watch on Twitter, go watch on YouTube. Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast on YouTube. Make sure y'all watching on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and that notification bell. Brad, what you think the problem is besides ball movement?
Well, I was with a Fire Lloyd Pierce train, and I think coaching is a big problem. I think it proves that it's everybody, and Nate McMillan isn't the answer. But it just seems like we're too young, and we try to force up shots, and nobody, like he said, plays team ball.
Tyrone?
So the first game we passed the ball. Everybody was like, "Oh, look at the ball movement. Look at how they're talking on defense." And this game, it was just like LP was coaching. Like there was no communication. You had Daniel Tice score 12 points in the fourth quarter just off lobs from Tristan Thompson.
Exactly.
Just straight up, Gallo couldn't guard him, and Clint just was on the bench, which I still don't understand. I guess he was tired. You put Clint on the bench with 4 minutes left, and then you see the defense just break down. It was not JC's night tonight at all. It was not John. John Collins played like he was in college or something. He was better in college. I don't know what happened. Like it was like he couldn't make it. He airballed that 3, and I just like, yeah, it's not it. This is not his night at all.
Yeah, shout out to Knight. Yeah, this is ridiculous, man. It's getting to the point where I'm just tired of watching. Just it. You watch the game and it's like, all right, if they're not winning at the beginning of the first half, then they're probably going to lose. So it's like, all right, you can kind of tell what's going to happen with this game as you watch the game. Collins, Gallinari, Herter, and Reddish. Out of those 3 in the first half, only one of them made a shot. Out of those 4, sorry, only one of them made a shot in the first half. That is horrible, man. That is horrible. Everybody can't have an off night at the same time. It's just not. You're not going to win ball games. Trae Young balled out. He had 31. He was 3 for 7 for shooting, and that's okay. 10 of 16, 8 of 9 from the free throw. So he did his thing. And Clint Capella, smooth double-double, 24 and 15. So Clint Capella was getting offensive rebounds. He was giving us second chance shots. He was doing everything he needed to do. Trae Young was out there trying to do everything he needed to do. But Trae Young had some key turnovers that led to that 17-0 run. And Kemba went off tonight. Kemba looked like he was back at Connecticut.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kemba dominated that first half. And then you saw Brown and Tatum take over in the second half when Kemba cooled off. But look, Trey had 8 turnovers, I think it was, but 5 of them was in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm. So, we are missing DeAndre Hunter. Yes, man. I didn't know how important DeAndre Hunter was to the team until he went down. Because once he goes down, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. We have no offense once Trae Young is off the court. None at all.
You know what? You know what's interesting?
What's interesting?
The bench cut the lead from 27 to 13.
I told I
But-
put in the group chat, vets being vets. That's what I said. That was veterans being veterans. They knew they came. Solomon Hill went 3 for 4. Had 3 on 3 or 4 tonight. But his defense, like him playing defense and him really moving. No, those guys talk. The young guys, you can tell the young guys don't talk on. Those guys talk. They snail hitting big shots. Solomon Hill hitting big threes. It's like you can see the difference of the team. Like we have 2 starting lineups, and those older guys really look like they know how to play basketball. I don't know if they're playing by themselves. I know they got to be following coaching, but it's just like when you see them play, they're like, "Oh, this." I was another game they did it. They did the same thing where they came in and kept us in the game. I forgot what game it was, but they came in and kept us in the game, and I don't know, we probably lost it, but still, those vets have shown like. Except Gallinari, but just exclude him.
Not to take
everybody else.
Yeah, not to take anything away from the vets, but Boston did start missing a lot of shots and started.
Yeah, but they were playing good defense though.
They were playing good defense.
Yeah,
they was playing.
That was the most aggressive I've seen Solomon Hill play in years on the offensive end. Like I've never seen him seek his own shot like that since he was in Indiana.
Yeah,
he took it straight to the rack every play. If he saw he had a lane, he was taking it to the rack, and I applaud him for that because I wasn't expecting it. He really took it to the hole tonight. It was actually taking bumps.
Yeah, John ate some of that chowder. It's not ridiculous. We have the worst free agent signings. Wow, how you feel about that, Rhett? Worst free agent signings?
For us,
yeah.
Rondo's got to be the worst free agent signing we've had. But I will say Gallo's not living up to the hype right now that we thought we were getting out of him.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Shout out to Mr. Legend 96. Like I said earlier, if you're watching on Twitter, go over to our YouTube channel, Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast, and watch on YouTube. The end goal should be trying to make the play in when full healthy. They're just too young. Maybe they're too young, but at this point, we have players around these young players that should be able to uplift them. We have the players around them. So I don't think it just has to be coaching. Coaching on this team, and it seems like all Atlanta sports team, except for the Braves, is coaching. It's coaching. Rondo bum and the other two free agents are bum, not Clint. Hopefully, 2024 we will free Rondo. Rondo, well, you can't say Rondo's a bum because he ain't played.
Rondo's just been hurt.
Yeah.
I feel like Rondo, but mind you, Rondo wasn't he hurt in LA last year? He barely played to the playoffs last year in LA, didn't he?
Yeah,
or something like
true.
that. So
and Rondo ain't get brought in for what he gonna do on the court.
Exactly.
No, he did not at all.
The playoffs and practice and the
Help
film
Trae Young.
room and the locker room. That's what Rondo is brought in for. A lot of people talk about Rondo's value too much when they fail to realize that he was, for the last few years, he hasn't been signing contracts for what he's gonna do on the court.
Yeah, he's there for leadership. He's there to help lead the team, get the help develop talent, man. Because he's two-time champion, so he knows. He's played with LeBron James. He's played with Kevin Garnett. He's played with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. All those people I just named are going to be Hall of Famers. So he's played with the best players, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to help mold Trae Young into a great point guard. So yes, we need him on the court because when Trae Young comes out and Rondo goes in, I think that'll help the Hawks slow down some teams, and he can slow down the tempo. But this team, you just don't know. Thank you, M Legend. Okay. A trade needs to be done. We need somebody else that is going to contribute big on this team. Who we gonna trade for though?
What are we giving up?
Yeah, who are you gonna trade away?
What are you giving up? Are we going? All right, like you said, Cam, but I don't want to trade Cam. I don't want to trade Cam. I just see something like that's gonna happen. Like if it's not by the end of this year, his third year, something's gonna happen, and it's gonna click. And I just want it to happen. Like I just see it's just so much potential in him because he can dunk. He really can dunk. Like if he really gets to the lane, he's gonna dunk it. If he can just finish, if he can learn how to finish through contact, he's gonna be a monster. And get his shot consistent, he's gonna be a monster.
How you feel about Cam Reddish, Red? Because I'm a proponent of it's time for him to go.
If we're looking to trade somebody, he would be the first one I would trade. His defense is really good. I think he had 5 steals or 6 tonight, but his shooting's just terrible, and he hadn't gotten it together. Wide open threes, I just don't think he'll make it, but he is getting better at finishing in the paint.
Yeah. He missed 2 dunks today. The one that it looked like he was about to punch on somebody, that one rimmed out, and then Trae threw him a lob. That one, they say that was a good pass, but I think that one almost hit the rim. And
it's the way he caught it. He caught it.
Yeah, he caught it kind of weird and looked like he tried to finish. But it's not uncommon for him to miss dunks, and I'm kind of getting tired of him missing dunks. It was just like Clint Capella earlier in the year. He was missing layups. You can't be missing layups when you're 7 feet. Like it's just not something you do. So Clint Capella has started making layups now. So hopefully Cam Reddish can start making dunks. But just like Lloyd Pierce, he can go too. Y'all know at the beginning of the year, if you watch the channel at the beginning of the year, I was screaming Cam Reddish was better than DeAndre Hunter all year. But now it's once again DeAndre Hunter. I apologize, brother. I apologize, man. I am so sorry. Because the Skyhawks are not playing this season, meaning the rookies are playing NBA and not the G League.
It doesn't matter. They got the G League bubble. People are playing on other teams this year.
Yeah, he can go to another team. You can put him in the G League.
Yeah.
And
United coaching. That's what I'm assuming they're talking about. United coaching.
I think the thing is for us is we don't have a backup center that we can play.
Mm-hmm.
We have Oneka on the bench every game. We have Capella, who plays. I think he played like 30 minutes tonight. And then you got to put in Butterfingers in Bruno, and then you got Nathan Knight, who has shown who he is, and we don't play him.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like we have 4 centers on this team. Well, I'll say 3 because I think Bruno should play start the 4 because I don't see him as a center, but.
Bruno is not an NBA player.
Oh wow, that's disrespectful.
He got an all-star vote, man. He got an all-star vote. You can't do that to him.
That is disrespectful.
I think Kevin did it. I think Kevin's the one who voted him for all-star. I don't understand how, but you had Bruno who played 10 minutes. He made 1 field goal, and he didn't do nothing else. And 4 rebounds.
Yeah.
You have your number 6 pick is a center, an All-American center. All Mr. California basketball was it 3 years, 2 or 3 years back to back, and then everybody's like, oh, he's a project. You have to experiment a project. He's only played maybe I don't even know how many minutes this year, and we haven't seen him play that much. And then you got Nathan Knight who you played, so I don't know. I just feel like I should be a center somewhere that we should be able to play.
I feel like Onyeka's more of a 4 because he's so small that even him, it's not really like a real backup center that we have.
Well, with the way he played defense in college, if he could do that in the NBA, you could put him at the 5, especially in today's game. But even with Capella's there, and he was Capella was minus 20 what?
Capella was talking about tonight. He was -4.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about Trey. Look,
or Cam Reddish,
who
was
the Hawks gave
-4.
up 66 points in the paint.
You said
66 points in the paint with Capella playing 30 minutes.
What you mean? We had 24.
We gave up 66 points in the paint.
Oh yeah.
The Hawks have 52 points in the paint, but the Celtics have 66. And the Hawks are in the top of the league at giving up points in the paint.
But who else is down there besides Clint Capella? Because John Collins is never really down there. He's never really down
zero defense.
Yeah, so
and I'm constantly seeing people take it up Capella's chest.
Yeah, but Capella's not that. He's not that.
No, but that's my point. That's my point. Even with Capella, that's what I'm saying. Like, we talking about a backup center, but even with the starting center, like, there's no paint protection. He's a tremendous rebounder. He's gonna crash the glass. He's gonna box out. But like, I don't know if y'all saw that play where Tristan Thompson was holding his arm and he got the putback.
Yeah.
But he can't protect the rim.
No.
Everybody's talking about pay John Collins, but he ain't helping.
Collins is not a rim protector at all.
He ain't helping down there.
No.
Either. And he had what, 8 points today? Well, they probably needed him the most.
8 points. 3 of 13. Negative 28.
He was the worst. He had the worst plus minus.
Yeah. So why did we sign Rondo? He's, in my opinion, hasn't done nothing other than troll and wins. We talked about why we signed Rondo. He's to help Trae Young, help develop this team. He's a championship player. He's probably going to be a Hall of Famer too. Just the fact that he has a championship with the Celtics and the Lakers, that's going to get him like at least 50 ballots. Kevin, and first round pick for Zach LaVine. Yo, that would be nice.
That would take
like to have Zach LaVine here, but it wouldn't solve the problem about our defense because he don't play defense either. So I would love to see Zach LaVine here. He's a baller. He's been balling out. He's the reason that the Bulls have 12 wins because without him, they probably have like 3 or 4.
That's not a bad trade.
It wouldn't be a bad trade.
I wouldn't give up next year's first round pick though. I'm not giving up next year's first round pick.
But this trade, in my opinion, doesn't solve anything. It brings us a little bit of offense.
It brings us another shot.
No, it solves a lot though. It solves a lot. It doesn't solve everything, but it solves a lot.
It gives us a shot creator. Besides Trey, gives us another shot creator.
Okay, let's slow this down. All right, Larry, what do you see in this trade? We're gonna go around the room.
The offense is gonna be way better.
That's it?
Yeah.
But is the offense the problem?
Offense is a problem. It's not the main problem, but it is a problem.
Okay.
How many blown leads? Like when you gotta think about it, the Hawks have blown multiple leads That's not just bad defense. That's not being able to score as well.
Yeah,
that's true too. I agree with you.
Look at the first quarter alone. Like one of the biggest, like we don't only miss DeAndre Hunter because of his defense. Like it's the offense too.
Yeah.
He was able to bring more to the offense. And now imagine Zach LaVine there starting next to Trae Young and DeAndre Hunter. We could figure. I trade John Collins the next day, right after I complete that Zach LaVine trade.
Okay, Tyrone.
It gives us another shot creator, really and truly, what we need, because nobody except we've seen Dre do it, but nobody can create their own shot.
Yeah,
Cam can't create his own shot. Cam tries.
Cam can't make a shot. Seems like.
And JC,
there you go. Like he could create, he just can't make.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, JC is not. I don't know. And of course Capella is a center, so I don't see him creating his own shots.
Yeah,
that gives us another shot creator, and it gives another facilitator. That gives Trey, if we take one off, like how the Lakers do LeBron and AD, one goes off, one goes. You can do that with them two now, because LaVine can come in and facilitate, and then you can have Trey. And then when you play them together, you just have an offensive threat. So it's not going to help us defensively at all. It's definitely not going to help the defense. But it's a win and a lose situation. But you got to take the higher is the win is the better situation. We can fix defense.
Rhett?
I have two things. Obviously, I think the defense goes down a lot, giving up Cam and Kevin, two good defensive players. But the offense does go up a lot. My second thing is, would Trey and him get along? Since Trey, we've seen him be immature when John wanted the ball more. Is he going to be that same way if we got another primary scorer? Or is he going to be able to let him take shots, kind of like the Nets have been doing, and let everybody eat?
Yeah. But that's a great point, Rhett, because I've been doing a lot of thinking. And when I say this, I don't want nobody to cut my head off, because I'm going to say it regardless, because I don't care. I think Kevin Huerter needs to come off the bench, right? You make Rondo, when he's healthy, the point guard, and you make Trae Young the 2. Why? That gives you more defense, because Rondo can play defense, and then Trae could come off screens. He could be ball movement. If you watch the Golden State Warriors, Stephen Curry, he brings the ball up the court, but most times when he gets to half court, he passes it off, and somebody else is running the offense, and he's coming off screens and he's getting good shots. So if they wanted to switch it up when Rondo comes back, make him the primary ball handler, because Rondo's not looking to score, he's looking to pass anyway. So if he's doing that, I think that would help a lot when it comes to this immaturity, like you said, with Trae Young, because Rondo's gonna pass it to the open person, point blank period. You open, you get the ball. His court vision is great, so that's my spill on that. How y'all feel about that?
I think the lineup's gonna be too small. It might work, but the lineup's gonna be too small, and it's gonna be harder to hide Trey on defense when you got two point guards out there at the same time. But it could work though, because of everything you just said. And another thing is, I was hoping that there was going to be a lot more of Trey off the ball and seeing more like Steph Curry type actions. But as you saw today, even when he's off the ball, there's no player movement. There's no off-ball screens. It's only on-ball screens. There's no players running around trying to create driving lanes or cutting lanes. Nobody's setting off-ball screens, no pin-down screens ever. I never see a pin-down screen in this Hawks defense. With all these shooters, there's never a pin-down screen.
Never. And
it doesn't make any sense. John Collins should be setting a pin-down screen on the baseline and immediately setting up in the post.
Yeah. And you would think with Lloyd Pierce coming from Golden State, that would be like his first thing he would implement is all these off-ball screens, because that's all they do is run off-ball screens, and you haven't seen none of that. It's just like watching a high school basketball game. Sometimes it's just like, all right, here comes the screen, the on-ball screen, and everybody watches. Like
Yeah,
No,
it's either a pick and roll or an ISO,
that's
regardless
how
of
we
who
run.
has the ball.
That has literally been our whole offense. It's just been ISO and pick and roll. If you watch Gallinari tonight, if you if you, I don't know if you can rewatch the game and just tune in on Gallinari while he's on the court. Why is Gallinari? I don't know how old he's, 30 something. Why is he running ISOs? Why do you have Gallinari in a corner running an ISO versus Jason Tatum? That offense doesn't make sense. It makes no, like, you would think, you, like you said, Lloyd coming from the Warriors, we would see the people look at Draymond. You look at Draymond's stat lines these last couple of games. He's had like 20 assists and like 5 blocks. He has all these weird, funky stat lines. He's a facilitator and power forward. It's really, you don't really see people like Draymond like that. Like, exactly. I remember when people were trying to say Draymond was Rodman. I would never say that. But he facilitates enough where if Curry gives the ball to Draymond's gonna run it like a point. Now, if you want that out of somebody on this team, we gotta have either Kevin or Cam know how to run the offense. That's the only way. Because there's no other facilitator except Trey at all.
Should we take the draft pick we get if we chalk it up and miss the playoffs, or trade down and up? I'm not too high on this draft class. I'm not. I would just say take whatever pick you get and take the best player available. Not too high on
this draft class is going to be amazing.
You think so?
I think so. Between the kids on the G League Ignite team and the kids in college, there's going to be a lot of star potential in this draft. There's even a couple kids that might really stand out immediately.
Okay. I'm not too high on it. I just don't think this draft class is gonna help the Hawks. Let me say that when I say I'm not too high on it. I don't think there's anybody in this draft class that could help the Hawks. So because we need defense and a big man.
I think Jonathan Kuminga could have instantly replaced John Collins just because he could play defense and do everything John Collins does, and he could create his own shot.
Okay.
Somebody said, is it BJ Boston? You would know there. Is it BJ Brown or BJ Boston? I can't think of his name. Or Brandon Boston. I don't know if y'all know. Most of y'all probably follow Simon, the Hawks draft nerd is his tag. It's some guy, I don't know. He said he posted, it was like Brandon Boston or BJ Boston, but he said he plays like Draymond. And he said if you want a facilitating power forward, that's who we should draft. I don't really know this draft.
Brandon Boston Jr.
Yeah, Brandon, that's what he said. Brandon Boston. I don't really know this draft class, really and truly, like I knew last year's draft class. Of course, it's high school kids. The only reason I knew last year's draft class is because they were my class. But I don't really know who. Yeah, I don't know. If we trade down, I don't know who we get. If we miss the playoffs, I say we keep it. If we're a lottery pick team, I say we keep our pick. That's what I just say.
What you think, Rhett?
I'd probably say keep the pick. I like this draft, in my opinion, a lot better than last year's draft. I think this one is more. You can get better players further down the line than just like the top 3 or 4 this draft. I'm not too familiar with them, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Zach LaVine is one of the best catch and shoot players in the league, so Trey could still have the ball in his hand majority of the time. By having Zach LaVine, it would make it easy for Trey to dominate and not get trapped. That is true. I would have to see it, man. I would have to see it. If they do it, I wouldn't be mad. So I wouldn't be disappointed if they decided to, hey, all right, we're going to trade for Zach LaVine because I love Zach LaVine. I think he's a baller. So I wouldn't be mad about that.
You know, just to touch on that again, I remember, Rhett, I just thought about something. You said you're not sure how it would work with Trey and Zach. I'm not sure how Trey would react to everything, but Zach is used to playing with ball-dominant point guards. Yeah. And he's still eating. So I think it was still – I don't know how Trey is going to be emotionally or mentally, but I think that the two could coexist. Simply because Zach has been playing with ball-dominant guards since he came to the NBA.
Who was his first – was it Rubio his first point guard?
No. Rubio was gone already. I think he was with Chris Dunn from the beginning.
Oh, he might. Yeah. I mean, remember he was in Minnesota.
Yeah,
That's
Chris Dunn was Chris
Oh, I
Dunn.
did not know that.
Him and Chris Dunn. They both got traded in the Jimmy Butler trade.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Rubio might have been there.
You said what, Rep?
I think Rubio might have been there for a year or two.
that's what I thought. He was there for like a year. I don't remember the whole.
Yeah, he might have been.
To touch on the draft,
Uh-huh.
I forgot Marcus Bagley's brother. Not Mark. What is the older brother's name? The
Marvin
Bagley brother.
Bagley.
Yeah, Marcus is in the draft, and I've been watching him since high school. That boy is a dog. I think he's about the same. He's about the same size as his brother. He might be a little bit bulkier though. I think he has more muscle than his brother. So that I don't know. If he can drop, I say somebody's gonna take a chance on him, just based off of his brother. But we see his brother really. I don't know if you call him he's been hurt. His brother's been hurt a lot though. So and it's 3 of them. But I think Marcus is the second one. I think they said people have been saying he has the most potential out of all his brothers. So if he's up there, he good. He shoots better than his brother.
And I'm a big fan of his brothers. I feel like injuries are the only thing that has really held him back besides horrible coaching in Sacramento.
Yeah.
So back to coaching. Who should go? Entire staff or multiple front office, GM, press team, nutritionist team, medical staff? I'm going GM and Lloyd Pierce.
I don't think the GM can get fired yet.
I don't think you fired Slink yet.
No, not Slink.
I feel like it's still too early in the process. It's still too early in his process for you to judge him.
Who?
Slink.
Oh yeah, that's why I said never mind. I'll just take LP. Fire LP. Fire LP.
I don't think you fired the staff either. I think really the staff has shown they are good staff. I don't know.
I was gonna say like
you just fired LP. I don't think you fired the staff though. I like our coach. I mean, all our coaches look engaged, but more than LP looks engaged because they're on the bench jumping around more than LP is. And I don't know. I can't think of the other, but most of y'all know him, the big chubby fat guy. I don't know who he is, but he's one of the most engaged coaches we have on the team. Every play you see him on the sidelines of the standing up class. He looks like he does more than LP. But Nate said LP is the best coach he's seen since Coach K. So
hardest working. He didn't say
hardest working.
The
hardest working coach he's seen since Coach K. So
my question is if LP gets fired tomorrow, which that would suck, he was just gone for
he's had a baby.
But if LP gets fired tomorrow, do you replace him with Nate McMillan or do you hire outside?
I say we hire Dominique Wilkins.
What?
I think Nate McMillan would finish the year, and then they look for coaching.
That was what I said. Intern Nate McMillan for the rest of the year, because we don't need to change. I think Nate, unless we can change the system throughout the year, then you might want to get rid of Nate. But if you see a difference in the system we play, which Nate McMillan has only had 3 losing seasons, and he's been a head coach for 16 years. His winning percentage is very. Everybody was like, "Oh, well, he can't win in the playoffs." He'll find a way to win. If you look at a team he's played in the first round, he's had a bad stretch of first rounds. He's played LeBron like 3 times in the first round. He played Miami last year in the first round. I was just like, he just had a tough
played against Kobe when he was in Portland.
Yeah, he's had a touch. You can't really make him look bad in the playoffs. It's the teams he's played. He's played better teams. So he's not a bad coach as people try to make him seem. He's a good winning coach. We'll give him the regular season titles people like to put on him. He's a good regular season coach. He's not a losing coach. So if he interns for the rest of the year and the team looks good, then you keep him. But if we don't look any different, then you might as well go look Harris outside.
We were speaking of Zach LaVine earlier. Even though they lost, he dropped 30. So horrible shooting night, 9 of 28. So yikes, and 2 for 10 from 3. So they only lost by 7 to Philly. Joel Embiid. Oh my, Joel Embiid had.
Oh, he had a career night. Yeah, career night.
He had 50.
Who was guarding him? Oh,
didn't matter.
Who was guarding him?
Wendell Carter Jr. had to
Oh,
good.
So they got Daniel Gafford because Markkinen is out and he plays the 4 anyway. But
yeah.
he's been out.
That's bad.
Somebody drops 50 on you, they usually probably gonna win. So I can't even be mad at Zach LaVine. He did everything he could, but
he was probably
as we said before on this show, Joel Embiid is playing like an MVP candidate. So
And Chicago has 6 people scoring double figures.
That's actually really good for that team to don't lose by 7. I feel like you're playing Philly.
Had 3.
That's not bad.
Philly had 3 scoring double figures.
Yeah. Giannis finally got a win after like 5 straight losses. He had 29.
I love it.
Who was that? Somebody's stat key. Hold on, we gotta figure that out. Yes, Giannis had 29 tonight. As we know, I've called him the Ben Simmons, just a little bit better Ben Simmons.
I agree.
I've just called him the better Ben Simmons. Is that me, Static?
I think it might be me.
Somebody's really like staticky.
Nah, I'm muting myself in the static.
Wait, hold on. Somebody's staticky. Hold on. I think that's you, Larry. I think you're staticky.
Nah, I'm muting me and it's still going.
Oh, God. All right. So I hope it's done now. So, yeah, like we were saying, 29 for Giannis, just a better Ben Simmons, slightly better Ben Simmons that can shoot a little better. Thank you for joining the show, Leafy Snivy. We're probably gonna end because this static is gonna mess with me. So any shout outs before we get up out of here? Oh, we know I gotta ask. MVP candidates.
LeBron.
Ooh.
See, I don't put LeBron in my top 3 because I don't think his production's as high this year. I'd probably go Jokic, Embiid, and KD.
I'm gonna say Embiid.
All right, so we're gonna end it. Oh, before we end, yeah, we're gonna just end because this is horrible. All right, thank everybody for joining the show. Thank you for joining in to Forever I Love Atlanta Sports podcast. Sorry about the static. We gotta figure that out. Technical difficulties, but on that note, yo, any plugs, anybody? No. All right, peace.